Hello guys, welcome back to lecture series on statistics. We have started a lecture series based on the different topics from the statistics. In my last lecture guys, I had explained here correlation topic with some of the important university questions. Okay, so in my today's video guys, I'm gonna start with a very fresh point, which is a regression. Okay, which is a regression, which is also very much important in our statistic unit. Okay, so you will definitely get one of the question based on the regression over here. Okay, so in my today's video guys, I'm gonna explain to you all the regression. Okay, we go for solving some of the example and formula, everything based on the regression I will explain here. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into our today's lecture. I'm gonna explain to you all a regression concept in completely detailed manner. Okay, yes, so what actually meaning of a regression guys? Okay, now see that we learn already correlation. Okay, so correlation means we are trying to find out the relation between two variable x and y. Okay, so after correlation we have to apply immediate regression. That means if x and y, these two terms are correlated, okay, that means they have something relation between them. Okay, if x and y are correlated and if the points is a scatter in a diagram, okay, that means see that if these points are scattered, okay, see that I'm going to explain over here like a randomly point scattered, okay, scattered in a diagram. Okay, but the condition is that all these scattered point need to be on a same curve. Okay, need to be on a same curve. We don't want any point which is outside of the curve. Okay, so if one point it is outside, we cannot consider regression. Okay, so we want all the point which lies on that same curve. Okay, so we call it as the curve of regression. Okay, so curve of regression means if the points in a scatter diagram lies on a same curve. Okay, if the points let me change the pen. If the points, okay, if the points scatter, if the point scatter means point can be transferred to the multiple direction. Okay, that means they are on the multiple directions scattered. Okay, we know that the scatterness of a light, that means point lies in a different direction, but we have one condition. If the point scatter, diagram lies on a point scatter diagram lies, okay, point scatter diagram lies on a same curve. If point scatter diagram lies on a same curve, okay, then that curve called curve of regression. Okay, then that curve called curve of regression. I hope you all have understood meaning of a curve of regression guys. Now see that if you consider this is the plane, okay, this we have the plane over here. Okay, within that plane I found these some sort of points over here. Okay, if I am going to join all of these points, I form one curve over here. Okay, so there I didn't have any left single point. Okay, I did not have any left single point. So all the point which lies on the same curve, so we call this one as the curve of a regression. Okay, this one is very easy guys, not the difficult. Okay, so what about for the straight line? If the curve is a straight line, then it called as a regression line. Okay, curve is a straight line. Whenever we have curve straight line, let me note the point. Curve is a straight line. Okay, then we call it as the regression line. Okay, if curve is a straight line, then we call it as the regression line. In such a case, the relation between two variable is a linear relation. Okay, so if x and y are the variable, then we call it as the linear relation, because straight line having linear type of the equation, that's why it considered the linear equation. Okay, lines of regression are used for estimating the value of a variable for a given value other variable. Okay, yes, it is the comparison between the variable, so it is used to estimate the value. Okay, it is used to estimate the value between variable. Okay, yes, Okay, so we have some 2 to 3 important point, guys. I'm going to note it down over here. These are the important for our question solving. Okay, yes, let me write this point over here. Okay, the equation of a line of a regression y on x. Okay, first point which is important that I'm going to use for my example solving. Okay, the equation of a line of a regression, the equation of a line of regression, the equation of a line of a regression of y on x, of y on x. Okay, first point, y on x. If y on x it is there, then we write y minus y bar, which is equal to b of yx into x minus x bar. Okay, y minus y bar, which is equal to b of yx into x minus x bar. Okay, where x bar y bar means the distribution of for x and y. Okay, x bar comma y bar we denote it as the distribution of x and y. Okay, x bar and y bar denoted as a distribution of x and y. Okay, yes. Now second one, the equation of a line of a regression. Okay, the equation of a line of a regression, x on y. So y on x it is done already. Now second, x on y. Okay, vice versa. Okay, if y on x, then we write x on y. Okay, then we write x minus x bar. Okay, x minus x bar, b of xy, y minus y bar. Okay, x minus x bar, b of xy is equal to y minus y bar. Okay, see that, guys. These are the two more important concept. X bar y bar means a distribution of x and y. Okay, this concept we needed here for solving the example. Okay, yes. Here, so I'm going to write regression coefficient of y on x. Okay, regression coefficient of y on x. This is also important. Regression. Okay, regression coefficient of y on x. Okay, regression coefficient of y on x. It can be written as b of yx. Okay, regression coefficient of y on x, it can be written as b of yx, and b of yx can be written as r times sigma y divided by sigma x. Okay, r times sigma y divided by sigma x. Okay, yes. And again, next point, if you want, you can add regression coefficient of x on y. Okay, regression coefficient of x on y, which is equal to, we denote b of xy. Okay, and b of xy can be written as r of sigma x upon sigma y. Okay, r of sigma x upon sigma y. So what happen if you multiply b of yx into b of xy? B of yx multiplied by b of xy. Okay, so what happen? R into r, we get r square. Sigma y upon sigma x multiplied by sigma x upon sigma y, it goes to the 1 over here. Okay, yes, this one is also important, guys. Okay, these are 3 to 4 point, guys, we needed here for example solving. You need to remember this one. Okay, b of xy, b of yx, that means b of yx means covariance of xy divided by sigma x square. Okay, and b of xy is equal to covariance of xy upon sigma y square. Okay, so it is way easier, guys. It's not that difficult. We just have to replace the values for finding their solutions. One more thing, guys. Okay, so most of you all are confused about what is R. Okay, R already we learned in our previous lecture. Okay, coefficient of correlation. Okay, coefficient of correlation, we learn already the R. Okay, what actually the R, what value of R? Covariance of xy divided by sigma x sigma y. Okay, that R you have to replace over here, that R you have to replace over here for finding the calculations. Okay, yes, that's it here for our regression points. These are the very important here. Let me have a little recap for the regression. A regression means the point which scatter here in a plane but all lies in a same curve, okay, then we call it as the curve of regression. We do not want any empty point other than curve, okay. So this one called the curve of regression. If a line it is a straight line, then we write it as a regression line, okay. And the equation of a line of a regression, y on x, we write y minus y by y bar, which is equal to b of yx into x minus x bar, okay. And x bar y bar both are the distribution of xy, okay. Yes, and x on y, which we write x minus x bar, which is equal to b of xy into y minus y bar, okay. So thereafter regression coefficient of y on x, we write b of yx, and which can be written as r of xy into sigma y, sigma divided by sigma x. And similarly regression coefficient of x on y, we write b of xy, and it can be written as b of xy is equal to r into sigma x upon sigma y, okay. And that r denoted as covariance of xy upon sigma x sigma y, okay. And if we multiplied regression coefficient of y on x multiplied by regression coefficient of x on y, we get the r square. That means this is the coefficient of correlation square, okay. Yes, I hope you all understood, guys, here my today's lecture. For your better understanding, you can note it down these many points. These are important here for our today's lecture, okay. So from tomorrow lecture onward, we are going to solve some of the example, guys, okay, based on these points. So I hope you all have understood here in my today's lecture, okay. Even after, if you found anything difficult, guys, let me know in my comment section. I will come up with the similar videos. So that's it here for my today's lecture, guys. And one more thing, guys, it's really time taking and effortive that to make one video. I'm uploading these many videos for you all, guys. Take it seriously, prepare it, and it will be helpful for your university exams, okay. That is my motivation, okay. So thank you everyone. Thank you for my today's lecture.